Today's film is Red Surf from 1989 and starring George Clooney, Gene Simmons, and a young Doug Savant.
Pardon me if you can. Movie reviews.
So, directed by the late H. Gordon Booz, who was the first assistant director on The Godfather 3 as well as Platoon, Red Surf, which was released in 1989, straight to video, is the story of some surfers who deal drugs on the side. So George Clooney's character Mark and his friends are all about partying and hooking up with girls and dealing drugs, and they all get cocaine, which they deal in a very unique way. Now, because of the coastal terrain where they live, they put on wetsuits and they go out with jet skis. And that's where Gene Simmons' character comes in. He has a small role of doc, and he helps out with maintaining the jet skis, basically. They're very small-time crooks. George Clooney's character wants to up the stakes and do a big score, which is 50 kilos. The danger is the guy doing the deal with them, known as the Kingpin, he has a pit, Lloyd, with wolves in it, in his house, in case people cross him. It's very Dr. Evil, having a pit of wolves in your house. Look, the subplot of the film is George Clooney's girlfriend, who's played by Dee Dee Pfeiffer, wants him to settle down. She's just found out that she's pregnant with his child, and she can't be around all the drugs and the guns, and she tells him, he's not in control of his life, he feels like, and so immediately begins a bender and starts smoking crack as soon as he finds out he's going to be a father, which is, a real statement about his immaturity. So because he is painted as this immature guy, of course, his friend, Attila, who's played by Doug Savant, has to be the very mature one, the one who steps up to the plate when she's pregnant, and they spend the entire movie painting a much better picture, implying that she should be with him. The whole film I spent thinking, who is this Doug Savant guy? He looks sort of familiar to me, and I couldn't place it, Lloyd. He is married to Felicity Huffman in Desperate Housewives, and he's also from Melrose Place. So he just has a very familiar look about him, although he's quite young here. Everybody's punk, dressed in leather jackets and jeans. It's a big gang warfare kind of deal. Look, some original things this film does. There is a shootout on jet skis at night, Lloyd. That's original, if nothing else.
Yeah, has it got anything on Point Break?
Look, it's similar terrain just because of the whole surfer movie kind of thing. But, no, it's straight to video, really. Not as good. The premise behind which they use the jet skis obviously is shaky enough because they're going to pick up drugs. But they send 4 people out on jet skis when one would suffice, So there's sort of this really, you've got to, accept that because there are a bunch of them going, if there's a shootout, there'll be lots of them to zip around and distract, The climax of the film is the heroes breaking into the main bad guy, this Kingpin's lair, for revenge. And Gene Simmons gets to strangle so many bad guys, he basically becomes the action star of the film. He's involved in the final confrontation with the bad guy as well. And this might be Gene Simmons' best action hero role. I don't know. The whole film has a seedy, smoky, underground kind of look to it. Clooney gets some real range with his scenes. He gets to really demonstrate anger and really loses cool. And playing this kind of, bad boy character, it's obvious that a mile away that you can tell which person in this film became famous, He was the real standout. And of course, he's featured on the cover. My only surprise is Gene Simmons' picture wasn't on the cover as well because of how much of a big role he has towards the end of this film. But look, it reminded me of those 80s action movies with Emilio Estevez, and it was a lot of fun to watch, and I would recommend checking it out. It's fun, if for nothing else, to see a young George Clooney in an early acting role.
Definitely. He didn't get his break till From Dusk Till Dawn. That's when everyone went, okay, this guy, is great in an action movie.
Well, he had his break in ER for TV, but for film, he struggled to find that transition between TV to film, but now he's found it. Everybody loves him again, and he can do no wrong. We'll find more from us at podmeifyoucan.com.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Check out our podcast at www.podmeifyoucan.com.